Hello, welcome to my low-tech, unedited, beautiful videos of random thoughts and whatnot. I made this cute little thing because I do a lot of hand lettering, so much so that I have a dedicated journal to lettering. This is part of a project I did. Not a project, but you know, when Instagram always has those hashtag do this every day for a month thing. So this is part of one of those. And then just some random playing around kind of things. Obviously I've had it for at least since Halloween. But instead of just opening my videos with my ugly, ill taking care of hands, I'll finish this and make it nice. But anyway, this video isn't about my hand. Well, it sort of is about hand lettering and other things that people do for, wait for it, buzzword, self-care. I'm not an artist, really. People always get mad at me for saying, you shouldn't say you're not this, you shouldn't say you're not that. I'm attempting to be better at art, at drawing specifically. I think I like lettering because letters can look like, as long as they look like the letter they're supposed to look like, you can do whatever you want to with them. Nobody's gonna say, that doesn't look like an H. It looks like an H to me. It's maybe not the way you draw an H, or draw an H, but anyway, I'm getting away from myself. The point is that I'm getting back into drawing again, and if you watched any of my last video about the watercolor and colored pencil class I took, I got another email from Craftsy about 7 days of drawing. So they're really quick videos. They're like 15 minutes, so I did them all in a day yesterday while I was sitting and just hanging out with the dogs. So it made me think about getting out I like to have a creative journal. It's not anything fancy. It's just a Canson mixed media. This one's like a 5x9-ish, 98 pound. And I like this because I can put watercolor on it the way I watercolor. Obviously, you can't do any intense things. And this is the cutest little puffin you've ever seen with these janky feet. Anyway, I got this for, I did it for a creative retreat because I knew I was going to need it for stuff. There was a lot of lettering and drawing. This is the first pen and ink flower I did. I was so excited about it. That it's this woman, Anne Oswald. I have her book. I'll link it in the bottom. I can't remember what it's called, but Botanical Escapes, I think. Something like that, where she teaches you how to do all of the shading and things like that. But anyway, she was part of this creative retreat, and it got me into more lettering techniques, and I made a rubber stamp. It was a lot of fun. But part of it was about creative journaling, and so I just kept going with this. I did Inktober a couple years ago. That's in here. And then this creative journaling page I did, which it led me to actually write a little ebook about creative journaling and how to get started. And I made this page as an example through that ebook that I have on my Etsy. And yeah, so I have these creative journals. It can be lettering, it can be drawing, blending, marker practice, you name it. But I really think it's an important part of self-care. Again, everybody's talking about it, but I do think it's important. I think it's important not only to do creative things for yourself, but also it's an exploration to find things that you truly do find enjoyable. In fact, here's I don't know if you can see, this is one of our stools in our kitchen. And this isn't a great picture, but I just happened to draw it one morning while I was sitting with the dogs. And I wish I have a little tiny sketchbook, and I actually redrew one of these stools this morning, and it turned out so good. I thought, actually, I'll leave my Instagram in the bottom and you can go check it out, but by the time you see this, it'll probably be buried in all of that. But anyway, so once I have this mixed media creative journal going, that is when I decided to do the lettering journal. So this one's just for lettering practice. But this class that I'm taking, well, that I did, yesterday, it was a 5-day class, but I did it in my larger journal, or my larger sketchbook, also mixed media. I like the mixed media pages. I think there's a lot more flexibility with stuff. I made this bat. I have this on a TeePublic t-shirt and things. This is my larger scale where I have this as a printable in my for my blog subscribers, and then this, again, I did this pen and ink and I uploaded it as an image on like Society 6, I think, or Redbubble maybe. I'll leave all the links below. And then I colored it in by blending with my blending markers, and sell it also as a color version. But this book is my larger, it can be drawings or lettering. Sometimes it starts to look like a person who has lost their mind, and I just go for it. Whatever comes to mind, I throw it in here. And anytime I just feel like I need to do something, this is what I do. I just do some doodles, and it is my version of self-care. I don't like to get massages. I don't like to get my nails done, obviously. I don't like all of that. I like to just sort of get in tune with myself, sink into not my thoughts. I like to get away from my thoughts, and this is a good way for me to do it. So this long-winded explanation of self-care is leading me to the project I did yesterday, which is a 7-day project. So she starts with some line drawing things. Let's get in a little bit closer again. So she starts off with the observational drawing. This remote just happened to be there, so I started to draw this. Again, this may not look like the best drawing you've ever seen in your life, but I'm very proud of this. This is not something that I would have been able to do, just sit down and do it. I did have to watch the class and listen to her tips and things like that. And then she moved into foliage, which I was just sort of going off the things that she had, and just sort of doing my own thing. I didn't have any actual, other than the remote that was sitting by me, I didn't have any actual props that I was drawing with. I was just sort of using hers. And then the next lesson went into, she had a picture of this pepper mill in this bottle, and she drew it on a larger scale. I definitely like doing things smaller. So again, this to me came out really nice. Some of you might not be impressed by that, but I was impressed by it myself, especially since I did do it on a smaller scale and used all I had was my mechanical pencil and one of these erasers. So I got in there and erased to make the little reflective bits as well. And I tried to do the little, yeah, this looks like an olive, but it was my attempt at making something reflective. She had one of these things. I've never used one of these before. I didn't have it with me, but I happen to have it downstairs in my studio. where I am now, but I didn't have it to use yesterday. And then she ended with a mandala act, and she again did a larger scale, and I just did a little mini one with a little mushroom in it. But the point is that it's important to have these sort of things to calm your nerves, you know, really soothe your mind. It has to be something that's enjoyable to you. I like things that I can sit down and do it, and then, provided I don't have stuff to do, it can be hours later and I don't realize that the sun has gone down and that I'm starving. And it can be as simple as coloring pages as well. You can find coloring pages anywhere. I have these that I've done. I have them on my Etsy shop as well. And right now they're just printables, but I'm working on getting them as nicer digital images, so you can put them in your digital notebooks for coloring pages as well. But so that's my little spiel about self-care, art as self-care, and letting yourself sort of try new things, and don't be afraid to mess it up, because you can buy these anywhere. Well, you can't buy them anywhere, but you know what I mean. It's a blank page, but don't be afraid of it, and don't be afraid to try something new. If you don't like it, look, a new page. How do you like that? Start over. So I hope you have fun, and oh, here, maybe let's see what else we got here. Hello, goodbye, subscribe and like. I'll have to fix those. All right, I hope you enjoyed it. Take care of yourself.